Hey everyone, welcome back. We've all felt it, right? You're swamped with urgent tasks, constantly putting out fires at work.
Yeah, it feels like you're running, but not actually getting ahead.
Exactly. You're craving that sustainable success where things just run smoothly so you can focus on what really matters.
You hit the nail on the head. It's that feeling of being busy, but not productive.
hmm
That's the core problem that XPollination aims to solve with their program management subscription.
And that's what we're diving into today. Their program, we've got a lot to unpack, their website, a white paper, a couple of case studies.
Yeah, we want to see if their subscription could be the secret weapon you've been searching for to reach that pain-free success.
Right, so to really understand the solution first, we've got to grasp the problem.
Right. XPollination's materials emphasize just how common it is for businesses to be held back by constant disruptions and misaligned teams.
Think about it. How often do those unexpected issues completely derail your plans? Or conflicting priorities pull your team in different directions?
Oh yeah, all the time. It's like everyone's speaking a different language, even though they're on the same team.
Totally. And that's got to be impacting the bottom line, right?
Absolutely, this reactive firefighting mode. It prevents businesses from focusing on strategic goals and really achieving that sustainable growth.
It's like trying to build a house during an earthquake. You're so busy dealing with the immediate chaos that you can't lay a solid foundation.
Exactly. So, okay, the foundation is shaky. We need a blueprint to rebuild.
And that's where XPollination's program management subscription comes in. They claim it's not just another Agile program, it's a complete system designed to transform team dynamics and leadership.
Right? They go beyond just teaching those Agile practices. Think of it this way. Agile is like learning a new language.
Okay.
It's valuable, but you need the right tools and environment to really use it effectively. XPollination provides that framework and support with a big emphasis on embedding Scrum Masters within teams.
Now, for anyone unfamiliar with the Agile world, a Scrum Master isn't some kind of fitness guru. What do they actually do?
Sure, imagine a conductor leading an orchestra.
Right.
The Scrum Master is like that conductor, making sure all the musicians are in sync, playing their parts and creating that beautiful symphony. They keep the team focused, facilitate communication, and remove roadblocks so the team can deliver value consistently.
So it's like having a dedicated project manager who's deeply ingrained in the team, not just overseeing from a distance. I can see how that would make a huge difference in terms of accountability and execution.
Exactly. And that leads to one of the key benefits XPollination highlights: building resilient, high-performing teams. Instead of crumbling under pressure, these teams are adaptable and proactive. They anticipate disruptions and adjust their approach to consistently deliver value, even amidst changing circumstances.
So it's not just about putting out fires, it's about building a fireproof organization.
Precisely. And that resilience extends to leadership as well. XPollination emphasizes strategic alignment, using the subscription as a mirror for leaders to reveal any organizational misalignments. It helps them identify gaps between their strategic vision and the reality on the ground.
It sounds like they're providing that much-needed clarity. You know, that aha moment where you realize, oh, that's where we've been going wrong. I bet that's incredibly valuable for leaders who feel stuck in the weeds.
Absolutely. And that clarity extends to decision-making as well. XPollination promotes those frequent feedback loops and transparent outcomes, so leaders can make informed decisions in real time. This minimizes confusion, miscommunication, those dreaded back-and-forth email chains.
Fewer emails. Sign me up. But seriously, clear communication, real-time data, those are game changers for any leader. It's about moving from gut feeling to data-driven decision-making.
Exactly. And speaking of efficiency, XPollination emphasizes how their program boosts operational efficiency. Teams become more focused and organized, leading to increased productivity and predictability in day-to-day operations.
Less time wasted on firefighting means more time for strategic thinking and innovation. That's a win-win for everyone.
It's like finally decluttering that messy desk. You suddenly have the space and mental clarity to focus on what truly matters.
Okay, decluttered desks and efficient teams. I'm liking this already. XPollination also mentions guiding teams towards something called CMM4, which sounds a bit like a secret code. What is that?
CMM4 stands for Capability Maturity Model Integration Level 4.
Okay.
It's essentially a benchmark for how mature and well-defined an organization's processes are. Think of it like this: CMM4 is like achieving business nirvana, where continuous improvement and strategic alignment become ingrained in the company culture. It's not just about following a set of rules, it's about building a culture where everyone is constantly striving for excellence.
Okay, that sounds impressive. But what does that look like in practice?
Imagine a company where even entry-level employees feel empowered to suggest process improvements. They're not afraid to speak up because they know their ideas will be heard and valued. And these small incremental improvements over time can lead to millions in cost savings.
Wow, that's a powerful example. It's about creating a culture of continuous improvement where everyone feels like an owner, not just a cog in the machine.
Exactly. Now, XPollination suggests that by embracing their program and maturing as a team, you naturally progress towards this CMM4 level of excellence. It's like they're providing the roadmap and the support system for this journey.
And that brings us to the most intriguing part. They mention this predictable, regular value delivery throughout their materials, but what does that actually mean? Is this like the secret sauce, the magic bullet?
Well, that's a question they leave us pondering. They don't fully define it, which makes it all the more intriguing.
It's like they're dangling a carrot, but we can't quite reach it yet. So to summarize, they've laid out the problem of reactive firefighting, outlined a solution that seems to involve building resilient teams, aligning leadership, and guiding them towards CMM4. But this predictable regular value delivery remains a bit of a mystery.
Exactly, and I'm curious to see how it all ties together. But before we dive into that, there's one more piece of the puzzle we need to explore, getting success done, as XPollination puts it.
Okay, this sounds promising. They claim success isn't just a random event, but rather follows recognizable patterns. So how do we tap into these patterns and make success, well, less painful?
That's where things get really interesting. XPollination introduces the concept of systemic business design, which they say is the driving force behind CMM4 program management.
So it's like a hidden framework, a secret code to unlock success. This is getting good.
It's about understanding the underlying systems and structures that drive success,
Yeah.
and then designing your business to operate within those principles. They even drop the phrase pain-free success, which suggests a more sustainable and, dare I say, enjoyable way of working.
Pain-free success, that sounds like a dream come true. What does that actually look like for a busy leader? Someone constantly bombarded with demands and deadlines. What does a day in their pain-free life look like?
That's a great question. And to understand that, we need to delve deeper into the specific roles. XPollination emphasizes the Scrum Master and the Agile Coach.
Okay, so we're back to our dynamic duo. They each play a distinct role in this whole system, right? They're not interchangeable, are they?
Not at all. They have distinct areas of focus and expertise. The Scrum Master, as we discussed earlier, is embedded within the team, focusing on the execution and facilitation of those day-to-day Scrum processes. They ensure a smooth operational flow and provide clarity at the team level.
So they're like the team's air traffic controller, making sure everything runs smoothly and efficiently.
A perfect analogy. While the Agile Coach, on the other hand, takes a wider lens, a more systemic approach. They zoom in on areas where the Scrum Master might have identified resistance or roadblocks. Think of them as organizational detectives.
Intriguing. So they're not just fixing processes, they're identifying the root causes of problems, like why teams are resistant to change or why certain initiatives keep getting derailed.
Precisely, they act as change agents, guiding individuals' teams, and even the entire organization towards a higher level of maturity. It's like they're helping the company evolve and adapt to become more agile and responsive.
So the Scrum Master keeps the train running on time, while the Agile Coach is laying new tracks and upgrading the engine for a smoother, faster ride.
That's a great way to put it. And it's this dynamic interplay between the Scrum Master and the Agile Coach that XPollination emphasizes as crucial for achieving that pain-free success.
Okay, so we've got our dynamic duo working in tandem to transform the organization from within, but how does this actually play out in a real-world setting? Can you give us a specific example of how this might work?
Let's say a marketing team is struggling to keep up with the rapidly changing digital landscape. They're constantly putting out fires, reacting to the latest trends, and never quite feeling in control.
Oh, I know that feeling all too well. The marketing world moves at lightning speed these days.
Exactly. Now imagine this team has an embedded Scrum Master who helps them implement Agile methodologies. They start using short sprints, daily stand-up meetings, and a more iterative approach to their work.
So they're breaking down those huge, overwhelming projects into smaller, more manageable chunks. That's a key principle of Agile, right?
Exactly. And the Scrum Master helps them to stay focused, remove roadblocks, and keep the work flowing smoothly.
But what if, despite these efforts, they still feel stuck? That's where the Agile Coach comes in, right?
You got it. The Agile Coach might notice that the team is struggling to adapt to new tools or platforms. They might identify a lack of communication or collaboration between different departments.
So the Agile coach digs deeper, identifying the underlying issues that are preventing the team from fully embracing the Agile way of working.
Precisely. They might then work with the team to develop better communication strategies, introduce new tools, or even facilitate workshops on change management and collaboration.
It sounds like the Agile coach is a bit of a jack of all trades, a master of adaptation and problem solving.
That's a great way to describe them. They need to be able to assess the situation, identify the root causes of problems, and then tailor their approach to meet the specific needs of the team and the organization.
Okay, so we're starting to see how this dynamic duo can really make a difference. But we've only scratched the surface of XPollination's program. We still need to uncover the mystery behind predictable, regular value delivery and explore how they help organizations achieve that pain-free success.
And that's precisely what we'll be diving into in the next part of our deep dive. Stay tuned.
Welcome back to the deep dive. We're unraveling XPollination's program management subscription, that intriguing system that promises getting success done pain-free.
And last time we were left hanging with that phrase, predictable regular value delivery. They didn't really spell it out for us.
It's like they dropped a breadcrumb trail leading to business utopia, but we're still figuring out the map.
I've been giving it some thought, and maybe predictable regular value delivery isn't a specific feature, but rather the end result of everything else they offer.
You mean it's not like a tool they hand you, but a state you achieve?
Exactly. Think about it. Resilient teams align leadership-efficient processes, all contributing to a consistent flow of value to your customers or stakeholders.
So instead of chaotic sprints and last-minute scrambles, you're operating like a well-oiled machine, delivering on those promises without all the drama. That does sound pretty pain-free.
Right, and that predictability is key for leaders who are just tired of constantly putting out those fires. Imagine knowing with a high degree of certainty when projects will be completed and what results to expect. That's a game changer in terms of planning, resource allocation, and overall peace of mind.
Speaking of peace of mind, they keep mentioning this pain-free success. For a leader drowning in to-do lists and feeling the pressure from all sides, what does that actually look like? Can you paint me a picture?
Okay, imagine walking into work not with that sense of dread, but with a clear plan for the day. Your team's humming along. Everyone knows their role and roadblocks are addressed swiftly. You can actually focus on strategic thinking innovation, those big picture goals that so often get pushed aside.
It's like trading in that rusty, squeaky bicycle for a high-performance sports car. You're still putting in the effort, but the ride is smoother, faster, and a lot more enjoyable.
Exactly. And a big part of achieving this pain-free success is really leveraging the expertise of both the Scrum Master and the Agile Coach. Remember, they're not just there to implement Agile methodologies. They're guiding the organization toward that higher level of maturity.
Right. They're laying the foundation for sustainable success, not just those quick fixes.
Precisely. And that's where CMM4 comes in. Reaching that level of process maturity signifies that an organization, it's moved beyond simply reacting to problems. They've built a culture of continuous improvement and data-driven decision-making.
Okay, so CMM4 is like the gold standard, the ultimate goal. But how does XPollination's program actually help companies get there? What's that secret sauce?
I think it's a combination of factors. The embedded Scrum Masters and Agile coaches provide that hands-on guidance and support, while the emphasis on systemic business design provides that overarching framework for success.
But it's like they're giving you the tools, the blueprint, and the expert guidance to build that dream house we were talking about earlier, the one that can withstand any earthquake.
That's a great analogy. And remember, they tailor their approach to each client's specific needs and challenges. They're not trying to force a one-size-fits-all solution. They're working collaboratively to create that customized roadmap for success.
Okay, that makes sense. But let's be real. Not every company is going to be ready to just jump into CMM4 right away. Some might be just starting their Agile journey. Can XPollination still be helpful in those early stages?
Absolutely. They meet companies where they are in their journey. Think of it like this. If you're just starting to learn a new language, you wouldn't expect to be fluent overnight. You need a good teacher, the right resources, a supportive environment to progress. XPollination provides that foundation, helping companies develop those agile muscles and build confidence along the way.
So they're like those patient language tutors, encouraging you to practice celebrating those small wins and helping you gradually build fluency.
Exactly. They understand that agile transformation is a journey, not a destination.
Okay, so they provide a roadmap, personalized guidance, and support for every stage of the journey. But let's address the elephant in the room, the cost. These kinds of programs can be a significant investment. Is XPollination's subscription worth the price tag?
That's a valid question.
Right.
And ultimately, the answer depends on the specific company and its goals. But I think it's crucial to consider the potential return on investment.
You're saying by investing in this program, companies could actually save money in the long run.
Precisely. By improving efficiency, reducing waste, and making better decisions, companies can free up resources that can be invested in other areas of the business. It's not just about improving processes. It's about driving those business outcomes and ultimately boosting profitability.
So it's an investment in the future of the company, in its people, its processes, and overall success.
Exactly, and I think that's what makes XPollination's approach so compelling. They're not just focused on implementing those agile methodologies. They're helping companies achieve their strategic goals and build that sustainable foundation for long-term success.
Okay, I'm starting to see the value proposition here, but I'm sure our listeners are wondering what's the catch. No system is perfect, right?
Well, as with any major change initiative, implementing a new program management approach can be challenging. It requires buy-in from all levels of the organization, a willingness to embrace new ways of working.
So it's not a magic bullet. It requires effort and commitment from everyone involved.
Exactly. It's like embarking on a fitness journey. You can't expect to get results. By simply signing up for a gym membership, you need to show up, put in the work, and be consistent.
So it's about changing mindsets, not just processes.
Precisely. And that can be one of the biggest challenges.
Mm-hmm.
People are often resistant to change, especially if they feel like they're being forced into something new.
So how does XPollination address this resistance? How do they get everyone on board with this new way of working?
Well, I think that's where the Agile Coach plays a crucial role. They're not just there to implement processes. They're there to guide and support people through the change. They help create that safe space for open communication, address concerns, and build a shared understanding of why this change is necessary and how it will benefit everyone.
So it's about building trust and creating a sense of ownership, not just dictating from the top down.
Exactly, and that's one of the things that sets XPollination apart. They're not just selling a program, they're building relationships and fostering a culture of collaboration and continuous improvement.
Okay, I'm starting to get a clearer picture of how this all works, but let's go back to that intriguing phrase. Predictable, regular value delivery. They never really defined what that means, did they?
No, they didn't. It's almost like they're leaving us with a bit of a cliffhanger, encouraging us to connect the dots ourselves.
Well, I'm up for the challenge. Let's put on our detective hats and see if we can crack the code.
I'm in. Let's see if we can uncover the mystery behind predictable, regular value delivery.
Welcome back to the deep dive. We're wrapping up our exploration of XPollination's program management subscription service, trying to decode their promise of getting success done pain-free.
Yeah, and we've been circling this idea of predictable, regular value delivery.
Right, like it's this missing puzzle piece.
I think we might have finally cracked the code.
Okay, lay it on me. What's the big reveal?
Okay, so I think predictable, regular value delivery, it's not so much a separate feature, but the natural outcome of all the other elements working together.
So it's not a button you push, but a state you arrive at.
Exactly. Remember those resilient teams, the ones who can adapt to change and deliver consistently.
Right, the ones who are not constantly putting out fires.
Yeah, well, imagine those teams operating with clear strategic alignment.
Okay.
Everyone understands the big picture, how their work contributes to it.
And they're empowered to make those decisions quickly, effectively, based on real-time data and feedback.
Right. Add in streamlined processes, efficient communication, a culture of continuous improvement.
What do you get?
You get predictable, regular value delivery. It's like that beautiful symphony that emerges when all the instruments are in tune and playing together seamlessly.
Okay, that's a pretty powerful image. So it's not just about delivering value, it's about delivering it consistently and predictably.
Exactly. And that predictability is what makes it so valuable for both the organization and the individuals.
For leaders, it means no more last-minute scrambles, no more sleepless nights worrying about deadlines.
Right.
They can actually plan, strategically focus on long-term growth.
And for team members, it means a sense of stability, a feeling of being in control. They can actually focus on doing their best work without feeling overwhelmed.
It's like that sigh of relief you feel when you finally get everything organized, and you know exactly what needs to be done and when.
That brings us back to that pain-free success. It's not that there will be any challenges.
Right.
You'll have the systems and support in place to navigate them.
So it's less about avoiding pain and more about developing a higher pain tolerance.
It's exactly building that resilience both individually and as an organization.
And that resilience is what allows you to thrive in a world that's constantly changing.
XPollination is essentially offering a roadmap to that resilience, a path to achieving sustainable success, in a way that feels less like an uphill battle.
So if you're tired of feeling like you're running on that treadmill, constantly chasing deadlines, putting out fires, this might be the path for you.
Yeah, it's about stepping off that treadmill and onto a more stable path, one that leads to not just success, but pain-free success.
I think that's a message worth pondering. If you're curious to learn more, I encourage you to check out XPollination's website. Maybe even schedule a consultation. You can find all the details in our show notes.
It's always worth exploring new possibilities, especially when it comes to achieving that balance between success and well-being.
Well said. And on that note, we've reached the end of our deep dive into XPollination's program management subscription. Thank you so much for joining us.
We hope you found it insightful and maybe even a little bit inspiring.
Until next time, keep diving deep, and remember, success doesn't have to be a constant struggle. There might be a smoother path waiting for you.